So we have the Olympic Games, the World Cup that starts this Saturday, Sunday, and at the same level, the impressive America's Cup, the 37th edition of the America's Cup, which, as you know, will be held here in Barcelona beginning in September 2024. This city will welcome the first will be the first in the world to welcome and to host the Olympics in 1992 and also the America's Cup in 2024. Barcelona is a mixture of history and modernity and one of the most iconic and attractive cities in the world. The America's Cup will mark a milestone in terms of sustainability and innovation. Barcelona is preparing everything for that long-awaited arrival in the America's Cup 2024. We're looking forward, and we will discover more about this ambitious AC24 with three great guests. We have Damià Calvet, President Port of Barcelona. Un altre cop. Hola, Damià. Què tal?
Bona tarda, gràcies.
Hello, welcome.
Hello. Thank you again.
Thank you. It's also a pleasure to have with us Grant Dalton. He's the Director Emirates Team New Zealand and the 2024 America's Cup organizer New Zealand. Grant Dalton, real pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And we also have Ignasi Armengol, Managing Director of Fundació Barcelona Capital Nàutica. Ignasi, thank you for joining us also.
Thank you very much.
It's a real pleasure to have the three of you to talk about something so special and amazing in the world. I would like to ask you first, Damià, because as I said before, this makes Barcelona the first city to have the Olympic Games in 1992 and also the America's Cup in 2024. Do you think Barcelona is ready for this recognized sailing event in the world, the most important event, one of the most important events in the world?
Yes, it is a very important event, and yes, we are ready. It was a very nice surprise to have the chance to host the America's Cup. I think that we offered to the organizers, to the Emirates team, New Zealand team, a kind of relationship between the competition and the city through the port, very attractive, very reliable, but also very attractive. We have been working very hard in order to have everything prepared, everything that the organizers need, the bases, the room for, or the place for the village and for the hospitalities. Yes, absolutely, we're ready. We have a very proven ability to organize events such as you've said, the Olympic Games or the World Soccer Championship, or even social events like the mobile or even the Smart City. It's a very big event. So we're putting in the hands of the organizers these infrastructures, services, know-how, but I would say on top of this, enthusiasm. We want to do the best edition of the America's Cup ever.
And I can notice in your
Yes.
smile. And Grant, he was like saying yes to everything. Please, let us know why New Zealanders, why did you trust in the Barcelona's candidacy?
Well, first of all, the word Barcelona. I mean, it's iconic. It's one of the major cities of the world. But when I came here in early March, met Damià and people, the people from the port, it's a great opportunity to help develop the port. The port stands a lot for diversity and sustainability, and that's a key part of the America's Cup going forward. The sailing area outside the port, I mean, right there is, it's unique in the world. We can sail 200 metres off the beach. I mean, we don't want to sail quite that close because we might end up on the beach, but and enthusiasm's the right word. The minute I arrived, you could just tell that it was something that the city and the port wanted to make happen, and that's important for us because that motivates us.
And passion also, like enthusiasm and passion for the sport and for what you are all preparing. Because Ignasi, can you please let us know, first of all, what is the Fundació Barcelona Capital Nàutica?
Yes, please. The Barcelona Capital Nàutica is a foundation that now is conforming after the city get on the next edition of America's Cup, 8 institutions, the 4 administrations, the Port, Generalitat de Catalunya, Ajuntament de Barcelona, Ministerio de Cultura y Deportes, Barcelona Global, Consorci de Turismo i la Diputació de Barcelona i la Cambra de Comerç. All of them are working together in order to have 2 big competence commitments. The first one is the legacy projects, to build with the organizer these legacy projects, and the second one is to facilitate to the organizer all the facilities that they need as a city, as a country, etc. And this is our commitment.
So you're all working to ensure that the America's Cup will leave an incredible legacy in the city.
Yes, yes, and as a city we have the long experience with Olympic Games that we get 2 goals. One was infrastructural, on the other hand you have the enthusiasm, the more spiritual actions to involve everybody, all the country, all the citizens, all the industries, all the people in this event. And these are the 2 lines of our effort in the legacy projects.
And Damià, how will the maritime infrastructure and the race areas will be organized?
Well, each of the teams that will compete in the America's Cup, they need a base, what is called technical base. We have to provide this surface, which is a piece of the port with the facilities, with all the facilities that they need. I mean, they have to have connections with water, energy, and of course data. And we will have 6 of these bases. 5 are already assigned to the defender of the trophy, which is the Emirates Team New Zealand. That will be the base in the World Trade Center. I would say that it's the most close to the city, the bigger one. That's why they have chosen this. And then we'll have 2 bases in the Moll d'Espanya, which are close to, for the people of Barcelona who know the place, to the aquarium and to the Mare Magnum. Then we will have the first challenger, which is the Ineos from United Kingdom, and then the Alinghi Red Bull. Then we will have a base in Marina Barcelona 92, which is the big shipyard for refitting these mega yachts that we have. This is a very important industry within the port about this nautical industry. After all, it's what we want to foster, the nautical industry. We'll have the American team there, the New York Magic. And then finally we'll have in the Llevant Wharf, which is close to the W Hotel, the Italian team, which is the Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. So you can hear big names around the America's Cup, Ineos, of course, Emirates, Alinghi. These are the big names, the Prada Pirelli. These are the big names which are around the America's Cup, which shows the importance of this competition. And then we have a spare base for if ever comes a 6th team. But this is not the important thing. The important thing. We'll see. The important thing is that we have these 5 bases, and we have a very rich place for the village, which will be a popular village, an open one. People will come to the Moll de la Fusta. Everybody in Barcelona knows what it is. This is the border between the city and the port, but there's no border at all, because it's the transition between the city and the port. That's what after all will create a unique atmosphere for this America's Cup. I think it's maybe not the first time, but a special occasion in which you will have bases spread around the port, not all of them in one place, which after all it works, but it's not so beautiful as walking around the port, which is city, part of the city, and finding there and there one base and the competition itself. And the other thing that I want to underline is what Mr. Dalton has said, Grant has said, is that the competition will take place just in front of us. just near the beach in San Sebastià, from the Port Olímpic, La Platja de San Sebastià, from all around the W Hotel, you will see the race. Of course, the best place to see will be in the hospitality, in the village, in TV, everything. But you will have it there. So this is very rich.
That's so attractive for the people who know about the America's Cup, and for people who maybe don't know about the America's Cup. I think everyone who's watching us now, Grant, know about the America's Cup. But can you please let us know, how is the competition organized? How is the America's Cup working? How many years? Can you let us know a little about the America's Cup?
Yeah, one of the first things that our success will be judged by is to answer your question effectively for the Barcelonians and Catalonians and Spanish. How many people get to know about it and understand it and want to come to the water and through the magnificent area that the port has and onto the beach. And the Cup is unique in sport because it's the oldest sporting trophy continually competed for, 1851. I think the Olympics started in 1908 or something. So it's an old trophy. The unique thing about it is that it's completely different than any other sport where you have a federation, the FIA, the IRB, the FIFA or whatever, who control the actual sport itself. In the America's Cup, the team that owns it or won it controls the sport. So we were able to make a quick decision of Barcelona. It was a pretty obvious decision when we came here. And we're able to adapt the rules, not to disadvantage the teams that are coming, but to make it easier for them to compete. And we can make the course close to the beach. And one of the key points for us in Barcelona is it needs to be free. It needs to be accessible through the ports to everybody. It's not. A lot of people often think of the sport at this level as elite, and at the top it is a bit, but we got to diversity with the Women's America's Cup. We're introducing that for the first time. We've got to bridge that gap.
Let me know later a little bit about it.
I will let you know. Are you sailing a lot, are you, lately? You'll be okay. We've got to we're bringing hydrogen. Now, the port's very committed to hydrogen. Now, that's a great synergy for us because as the poster child of our sport, we have to lead those things. So, as I say, I come right back to the start, and the Cup is not necessarily known or that well known, but it is our job to make it better known and to give a range, e-sport games, for example, so that our legacy or part of our legacy when we leave is that people know more about it and want to go sailing.
And I suppose your aim is to be the first team in the history to win the America's Cup like 3 in a row, no?
Yeah. Well, the Americans did a pretty nice job of moving the rules around to hang on to it for 132 years. But it was never the same team. It was always same yacht club, but a different team. So no team has ever won it 3 times in a row. So that's an absolutely motivating factor for us.
And Damià, I think the plan is to host like 3 preliminary events, 2023. Can you report some information? Well, will that be in September 2023? Can we know more about like the dates or?
Yeah, this is part of what happens around the America's Cup. It's not a weekend race. Like, for instance, F1 that we have here in Catalonia in our circuit. The America's Cup, we are in 2022, and this will happen in 2024. We already have a team in the port, which is the Link Red Bull, in an eventual base, because it's not the final one. But they are here. They are training every day. I can see them from my office sailing, and it's very exciting to see them there and to have them in the Port of Barcelona. We know everything about the rest of the teams. I mean, we can see the people from the American Magic sailing in Florida, and the people from the Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in Cagliari, and the rest of the teams. So everybody is getting ready for the America's Cup 2024. So meanwhile, there will be a lot of things to happen. First of all, they will come here progressively. We have speed up the preparation of the port in order to have them here in the Port of Barcelona, all of them training every day in middle of 2023, let's say. And then, yes, we will have some preliminary sales, but the most important thing is that they will be here. Each of the teams has more than less 150 people around.
Yeah.
That means 150 people that are engineers, or people that are the drivers, or the physical drivers of the boats. So there's a lot of activity to host here in Barcelona from now until 2024. And then on 2024, we'll have the Youth America's Cup, the Women's America's Cup, the preliminary America's Cup. We have a race which is the sailing boats are classical boats from all the America's Cup editions. So a lot of activity from right now, because I want to underline again that we do have a team, the Switzerland team, the Alinga Red Bull, in the port. So everybody who wants to come here and to see them, they are in the extreme part of the wharf, and they can see the boat, and they can, if they see they look at the sea, they will see them sailing, and a lot of things to happen. That means a lot of activity for Barcelona, for the Port of Barcelona, of course, but for Barcelona and for the region also, because after all, it's a race. That's clear, but it has a capillary effect on everything that has a relationship with the sea. That means also the nautical industry, which we want to foster. Yeah. And that means a lot of things about innovation and sustainability. So this is the way we will, not only with what we will do 2023, but until now, and the final match. And then with the legacy that Ignasi has said, that through the foundation we will foster, we will have, it will be a permanent record in Barcelona and something to be held in order to foster all this nautical, I would say, spirit of Barcelona.
And I'm sure the passion and enthusiasm around the sea, we will also notice it perhaps with culture, concerts, and lots of things that are maybe being organized. Like, I know you cannot give us like so many information, but I think it would be like so amazing to have the America's Cup, the 37th edition here in Barcelona. Ignasi, I would like to know how in the FBCN, how is to work like public administrations and also a group of private ones are present? How is to work all together? How do you understand?
It's very easy, sincerely.
Really?
Yes. And I always answer with this word because it's true. All the administrations and the relation with private institutions as well is very, very good. They are involved together from the first minute. They understand perfectly that both organizer and all the administrations are speaking about the same values. It's important to this coincidence about the sustainability, the care of the oceans, the technology, the innovation, the social. And then we are putting on the table different projects to advance, how I explained Damià before, that in different projects, in these different axes, and working together as well with the organizer. And then this is very easy and is a good form to feel permanently the union, that everybody is working together.
And Ignasi, Damià, are you aware, do you think that the people from they notice what really the America's Cup represents for the world of sports and for the international events?
A lot of people know, but still we have to arrive to a lot of people to let them know what the America's Cup is, what does it mean to have it in Barcelona, and we'll do it. For instance, one of the things that we'll do is a trophy tour. We'll show the trophy, which is very beautiful. It's an old cup and large with two parts to engrave all the names of the boats that have won the America's Cup. And this is something that we will show all over our coast, the clubs that we have in the coast, all the people related with the sail will be able to see it, to touch it. They will, no, maybe not to touch it.
No,
Yes, okay.
No problem.
But they will volunteer for the America's Cup. This is something that will grow up this knowledge of what the America's Cup is, and of course having this interest in coming here. And on top of this, the world will let us know what the America's Cup means, because, for instance, tomorrow we have a press conference to show the new logo and the video and everything about the calendar itself of the competition. There will be hundreds of foreign media attending this press conference. So people in Barcelona will say, hey, not in New Zealand, but in whatever country in the world, they are talking about the America's Cup in Barcelona. This is important, so we will have to be there. So it will be increasingly known, and of course, it will be spectacular. Today, with all the facilities that we have to make a race attractive on TV, this kind of event creates a lot of reactions, positive reactions, a lot of attention. So this is something that it will progressively grow.
Ignasi?
I would like to add that we are thinking all over the world, and the press conference of tomorrow. But we are working hard as well to explain well, to inform the people who live in the country, because it's important that in the beach, to have a lot of people from different countries fanning with his teams, but as well from people from here speaking Catalan, speaking Spanish, and seeing the sport event and to feel the new atmosphere that we want to build.
And before closing, Cran, can you let us know something more about, as a woman, the woman regatta and the upcoming talent? Because it makes me happy. I mean, in every sport, little by little, we can see like the presence of women harder and stronger, and also in the America's Cup, right?
Yeah, well, it's very difficult to make a pathway from winning a gold medal to the America's Cup. For women in diversity, there's just nothing in between. So we thought it was time to do something about it. I mean, there is a lot of women in sailing, but on some of the competitions, it's almost you must have one woman on board or whatever. Now, to me, that's almost derogatory in itself. And so we thought it is a much better that women should have their own event. I'll tell you what's really important about women in sailing is that Spanish women in sailing need to be in the America's Cup in 2024. So that's a challenge, that we want to see a women's America's Cup team sailing soon. But we're the poster child of the sport, if you like. We have to be the innovators, and it was time to do something about it.
And for the tournament, who are the favorites?
Well,
I know what you're going to say, right?
Well, no, I'm not going to say us, actually, because you never know. You just never know. And at this stage, you really never know. But what I do know is with the engineers and the innovation that is present in the Cup, that the Cup is already over. We just don't know who won yet.
But
Yeah.
may I say just
Of course.
a sentence? I know it will be the final one.
I want to ask the three of you
okay.
a closing idea, feeling.
So I'm going to use this term for this final idea, because we're in smart ports within the frame of smart city. So we're talking to the port community, to people that work every day in the ports. And ports are a lot of things. The Port of Barcelona, for instance, is very diversified. We have, talking about ports today, is talking about containers and bulks and cruises and cars and all kind of vessels and of course about innovation, about sustainability. This is the main thing. But we can never forget that ports have to have a strong relationship with the cities, And the story about the America's Cup is this relationship between the port and the city. And again, that the ports have to have a relationship with sails and the wind and the competitions. After all, these competitions were thought to increase the speed of boats and the capacity of men and women to make the maritime transport safer and with more speed than the old boats. So we can never forget this spirit of what the sailors, and we're very proud to have this spirit in Barcelona, to have a port with a lot of things, with containers and cruises and all these things, but hosting a competition such as the America's Cup. This is the real connection with the sea and the wind, and this is we're very proud of having it.
I can notice, and I was born here in Barcelona, and it's like so amazing to have. So thank you for choosing Barcelona. And Ignasi, just for a closing, would you like to remark?
I would like to remark that the women and youth competition, because will be one element plus on the table, and this will be the base will be in the Port Olympic, and we have as well in the Port Olympic for the council the school of sailing, and then we will involve, and our idea is to become this team of women and youth people in the next generation that will go in the next edition of America's Cup. This will be another good and hard legacy for the country and the city.
It will. What about you, Grant, just for closing remarks?
Well, I can only thank Barcelona, thank the port, thank the city, thank the regional government, thank the central government. I mean, amazing. I mean, there is no way you could do what we're doing here at the speed that we are doing it with the ports and the interaction with that in the city and any other city, not even in Auckland, not even where we come from.
Thank you so much, the three of us. They just gave me this, and we have more than 3,699 people joining us now here on live with the Smart Ports. Everyone is like really wishing to have the 37th edition of the America's Cup here in Barcelona. Remember, we have the hashtags Smart Ports BCN and Smart Ports TV. And Grant, Damià, Ignasi, it's been a real pleasure talking with you about this nice 37th edition. We're looking forward for it. Good luck tomorrow with the press conference, and good luck with all this work you have until the America's Cup starts. Well, Damià said it started already with the training and everything, but thank you for choosing Barcelona, and good luck with everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.